Well, here we are again. It's another afternoon, another hot afternoon. 93 degrees. Feels like 103. It was 96 just as late as 5 o'clock, so we're on the way down, and that's a good thing. Today's episode is part of my new series called Writing Wednesdays, and that is where I will give you, the valued viewer, some advice and information about how it is that I write the stuff that I write. And maybe that's good, maybe you'll be able to use it to help you, and maybe I'm just talking to myself, and hell, I've decided it doesn't matter. Now, if I'm not talking to myself and if I am speaking to you, I would encourage you to like this video and leave a comment down below, and that will supposedly further the engagement with this content. And you would also be obliged to subscribe if you wish. I do have a Patreon, and my intention with that is that everything on Patreon will be available for free for anyone that wants to join, and membership is free if you want to go join up over there. And there are some tiers that you could choose to sign up for, act like a subscription. If you do appreciate what I'm doing and you want to show some support, that's welcome as well. Certainly not required, because like I said, it's going to be free for everybody no matter what. Eventually the people that are paying money will probably get some videos in advance, or maybe some behind the scenes stuff, or like a secret live stream or something like that, you know. But I did a live stream last night, and it was public, and it was essentially secret because it had 0 viewers, so go me. Sorry, there's a horse over there that was shitting, and I was momentarily distracted. That's on me. Anyways, I'm gonna give some advice on how to write, and I've been copying down my lyrics of my songs into my trusty handwritten notebook and getting that out there. And in subsequent future episodes of Writing Wednesday or Writers Wednesday, or I don't know, you know, still title in progress, then I'll bust that out, and we can go through line by line of songs that I wrote and why I chose that line, and the reasoning behind it, and the stories behind it. Because above everything, I'm a storyteller. Yes, I can play the guitar just a little bit. Still not where I wish I was, obviously, as far as skill level, but it's a journey, not a destination. And 18-year-old me, who could play Nothing Else Matters and Brown Eyed Girl, would not recognize 44-year-old me, not just because of the gray beard and lack of hair, but because of the skill level, right? Because that's the thing that you roll on as time goes by, you know? It's just gonna naturally improve. It's like working out. I've been working out the last couple of months, and I don't have to put a lot of effort into making my time better or having improvements, because that comes naturally. And man, something bit me like 2 days ago, right there, and it itches. So yeah. So how do I write songs? If you're here and you're still here, thank you for coming. If you're here, then you'd like to figure this out. You want to crack that egg, you know? Well, the way that I write a song is pretty simple and basic. First of all, you need a good instrument. Now, if you play the guitar, then that's probably going to be your instrument of choice. If you can play multiple instruments, just figure it out. I've had this guitar since the year 2001. This was the first guitar that I purchased, my parents gave me a guitar for Christmas the year that I was a senior in high school, and I bought this bad boy. This lovely Larry in 2001. This is an Ovation Standard Balladeer, model 1861. As you can see, it's got the shallow, rounded back. It is electric acoustic. My preamp has shit the bed, so it's currently just an acoustic. But in a perfect world, it's okay. The strap lock system absorbed that. In a perfect world, it would still be functional as an electric acoustic. I like Ovation. Ovation has a lot of guitars that I've played over the years that I like the sound of, but a lot of them are not shallow bodies. So I don't really care for the mariachi style where it's got you all out like that, right? I want it close. Dave style, Dave style. Because it makes it easier. Man, that thing itches. Oh, ever since I touched it with the guitar. So check this out. When you're writing a song, you're gonna want to have your melody in mind already, or at least sort of the tune or the chords. Like I always have the chords sort of beating around in here already before the words ever come. And maybe you'll have a different experience with that. And that's not always the case, but a good percentage of the time for every song I've written, I had the chords in mind, or at least I already had something I was working on. It might be something that I just made up that I was sort of warming up with, or just something that was fun, or like I figured out I could play this other song backwards and it sounds neat, so let's do it that way. Like the chord progression, not running it backwards to get the devil talk, but just run the chord progression backwards and you got a new song, man. So the variation of the musical structure is one thing, but I completely pause. I'll be right back. I gotta get something. Recording? Yeah. All right, we're rolling tape. Excellent. It's right here the whole time. I just couldn't find it. It was down in my stupid camera bag. Anyways, while I was inside looking for my smokes, I took the liberty of grabbing my notebook that has some of my songs written in it. I didn't have it with me when I hit record on this thing, so I've got it now. 1 second. I think it's going to take. Before you start at me in the comments, I started smoking when I was 13. I'm aware of the distaste that a lot of people have for cigarettes. As a member of the lower class and the food industry, a big chunk of my adult life, I do not care about your opinions. Also, as a man, I don't care about your opinions. It doesn't matter. When I'm tired of smoking, I'll quit smoking. When I'm not making any more gains from running every day on my time, getting better because I can't breathe, I knock it down a little bit, but so far so good, man. That being said, kids, if you don't smoke, but don't vape. If you gotta pick one, get American Spirits. Look for the Eagle. Look for the Eagle. It's good stuff. Didn't hear that from me. Yeah. A pack of cigarettes lasts me like 4 days, man. So it's not a big heavy habit exactly. It is what it is. We're all carrying something. Now that being said, what was it? Writers Wednesday. So I took some notes. It's a big reason I wanted to get my notebook. I took some notes. Let's just use the Ovation Standard Balladeer as an unsanctioned table for a moment. Let's see if I can't not slide it off on the floor. And let me just flip open here. Where are ya? Dun, 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 dun. Where is the thing I'm looking for? Where is it? Where is it? Check this out. Well, this is gonna be backwards, so never mind, don't check it out. I've actually done some work. I've made a list of topics, different kind of topic for every day. And I'm gonna be trying some of those out. Last night was the See You Next Tuesday show. That's going to be a live stream as much as possible, and to be determined topic-wise. Monday is going to be Maker Monday, or possibly Music Monday. See You Next Tuesday. Got Writer Wednesday. Truth or Thursday. Truth Show. Friday is like Fix It Friday, and Saturday is going to be Singer Saturday, so we'll do some singing on Saturdays, and yeah, so it's more work than I'm being paid for currently for this channel, so you're welcome. Production quality will reflect my compensation, so to speak. I'm cool with it being this way if you guys are, so don't sweat it. Where is my aha? Found it. I use a very large binder notebook. And trying to hold this thing still and not get ashes on it. See, I use a big old school 3-ring binder with dividers and notebook paper and graph paper. I got a notebook screwed in there somehow as well. So 80s kid, man. What can I say? Wish I still had my Trapper Keeper. So Writers Wednesday. How do you write songs? First of all, take this information with a grain of salt, because it's my opinion and it's my experience, and your mileage will probably vary off of this, but it might be useful. And I'm still figuring out where to look. I keep looking at me to make sure I'm not looking stupid, but I'm always looking stupid, so I should put a little dot there. I should put a dot there so I know to look there. Make a note. Somebody let me know to do that. So my opinion, how do you write a song? Well, I write songs. I used to write songs in this way. My method's different now because it's a changing, evolving thing. And the way that I started is that I like to write essays, to put your thoughts together. And essays are very structured. For instance, an essay has a thesis statement, and within the opening paragraph of a essay, the thesis statement is expressed, and there are supporting reasons for having that particular thesis statement expressed. Goodness. That thing fell out of the tree, hit the ground, and buzzed off. It was a cicada. We call them locusts. So an essay has a thesis statement, and the thesis statement has supporting statements within the opening paragraph, and the rest of your entire paper is those supporting statements and the explanation of them. Are you with me? Comment if you're with me in the comment section below. But what's a thesis statement? A thesis statement is the main idea. Thesis statement is the main idea. The thesis statement. Oh, fuck it. Thesis statement is the main idea. Every single thing that you say for the entire rest of the paper supports that first statement. So if you have a thesis statement, you've got a song. You've got a topic about a song. Now, what's a hook? The hook is the catchy part of the song that hopefully is repeatable over and over, easy to learn, and highly listenable. And it also conveys the main idea. That's what the hook is. As Blues Traveler said, the hook brings you back. So the hook is the best way for you to convey, relate, deliver the main idea of what you're trying to say. So my chorus is the thesis of the song. And at some point in the thesis of the song is the hook, usually. I've tried to find ways to be unconventional about it whenever I write songs, because it's like once you learn the rules, then you know how to use the loopholes. Does that make sense? You skate around it and use the constraints against themselves. If it always has to have the hook and the chorus, then sometimes it's appropriate to not put the hook in the chorus. So again, to repeat once more, the thesis statement is the best way, most relatable way, and most repeatable way to convey the main idea of the thesis of your song, which is the chorus, usually. Except when it's not. A lot of asterisks in there. Now, how do you make a verse? Well, as I said, the chorus is the thesis, so the verse becomes the supporting argument for that thesis. If you're telling a story, then it's the beginning of the story. That's the first verse. Unless it's not the beginning of the story, and you're going to do the beginning of the story in a flashback on the second verse, which reminds me I should do a song like that. Just going to write that down real quick. Write a song where the second verse is a flashback and actually the first verse. There we go. I can end the video now. Even if no one watches this video at all, get 5 views on it and I'll be happy. I just got a new idea for a song, so suck it, algorithm. Anyways, the verses are the supporting arguments for your thesis statement. Again, except when they're not. You get to decide because you're writing the song. It's not a train track. It's more of a nature trail, right? So, you make your verse with supporting arguments that lead to the chorus, which is the thesis, which contains the hook. With me? With me? Everybody's there. Excellent. Excellent. Now, there's another part of a song called a bridge. It usually goes like this, all right? The song starts out, verse 1, chorus 1, verse 2, chorus 2. Somewhere after the second chorus, before the end of the song, there's a part that a lot of us musicians call the turnaround, where the music will either die down or get really hard and then sort of go back to how it started. It's the turnaround. It's bringing you back, right? Well, there's also a part of the song called the bridge. And the bridge connects the supporting arguments that you've been giving in the verses with the feeling of the thesis and the energy of the hook. The feeling is the thesis. That's the main thing about a song, usually. Again, except for when it's not, you get to make the rules, yada yada, you get it. The verses are not feelings, usually. The verses should be statements of maybe of fact, but at least not of pure emotion, right? But your chorus can be pure emotion if you wish. The bridge is a mix of that. Now, I like to write my bridges by taking parts of each verse, splitting it apart, deconstructing it, and take a line from the second verse and a line from the first verse and mix them together and then play them in a slightly different set of notes or chords and then tie that on to the thesis statement so you can walk right across it. That's why we call it a bridge, because it goes nowhere. Now, in the bridge, there's usually, similar to the crescendo, the main swelling, the part of the song where they really rock out, right? And they're just going all out. Everybody's doing it. They've been holding back the entire song and playing soft, or not playing at all, or like really hanging back, and now it's time to just give it, right? That's after the bridge. Once you go over the bridge, it's time to go all out. You burn it, burn the bridge. Now, the bridge leads, like I said, to the great swelling and to the going all out. And usually the going all out will end up with the turnaround, which will bring the song full circle, brings the horse on back to the barn, and then you shut the gate, right? And everything's good. Everybody's put up for the night. Now, less is more, okay? Less is more. But sometimes more is more. Let's be honest. Let's be real about it. Sometimes more is more. So, you get to decide. It's your song. Sometimes, like I said, it usually goes verse, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge, turn it around, head on back to town. Close the gate, lock the barn, put her to bed. But sometimes, one verse is enough. How about that? Sometimes, two verses can be combined. You do verse 1, skip a bar, straight into verse 2. It lends a sense of urgency and immediacy to the situation, because holy shit, there was no chorus. It's that important. Just skip the chorus. That's right. Sometimes you skip the chorus, because sometimes one chorus is too much. How about that? Now, depending on the song, you'll have to figure that out. Usually I can just feel it because I'm special, but not better than you, just experienced. I've recently put a couple of my older songs up. Y'all should go check them out. One of them's called Blow Me Away, and it breaks every rule And it does all the stuff that I just said sometimes that you do and you don't do. It breaks all the rules. I'll play it in a minute. In fact, we'll play it in a minute and I'll let you see what the deal is. But in that particular song, no chorus was necessary. In that particular song, the two verses could just be stuck together. Also, it was like my third song, so I was trying new stuff. But the story behind that song would explain why there was no chorus. And the part of the story that matters is conveyed in the song, so you don't really need the background of the real life occurrences that I saw happen. Like some interpersonal relationship stuff with one of my buddies and this girl that he was dating. And I sprinkled in some of my own limited experience as a 22-year-old at the time. And excuse me, I just had some lasagna and garlic bread for my one meal of the day. A tiny little square of garlic bread and some tiny little piece of lasagna and a little coleslaw. It was quite good after a couple of protein shakes. A gallon of water. Anyways, we'll play the song that I'm talking about in just a minute. And I'll show you what I'm talking about with the sometimes it doesn't need a chorus, and sometimes one verse is enough, and sometimes one chorus is too much, and sometimes less is more until it isn't. Like all of that stuff starts to make sense the more that you listen to songs from a writer's perspective. These things will begin to click more, especially older songs. I don't know about songs after 2010. I kind of checked out around 2010 or 2011, you know. So I don't know about the new stuff, but listen to older songs from 1960 till 2005 or 6. Check those songs out, and you will see some of these things popping up. You will see that the verses of songs are actually the main idea and the thesis statement of the song, and that back up. You will see that the chorus of a song is actually the thesis statement and the main idea, and that the hook revolves around that most of the time, except for when it doesn't. And you'll see that the verses are usually supporting arguments for how the thesis is telling the story. Again, except for when they aren't. And you'll see all of these rules in play, and then you might be able to begin to see the code trickling down, and you'll be able to decide when and where you want to apply these principles of writing your song as though it's an essay, right? And the last three things that I've written here are the most important thing to take away. Because the last three things that are written here are the part that will take a song from a song and turn it into a story and a legend that grows a shadow over time. And you'll see that a song actually does the closest thing to evolution of anything that I see very much of. A song does evolve from one thing sometimes into an entirely other. As you start to chip away at the rough shape and you really feel it out and you see how it is and you get a real sense for what this thing is shaped like, it can become something else. The most important lines are right here. Let it breathe. Whether that means give your song time to become what it needs to be, or whether that means just hold up and slow down and do a vibe check for a second in the middle of the song and let it breathe. And let the guy listening to the song breathe and get ready to take the next step that you're going to take them on in this journey of this story that you're telling, right? Let it breathe. Next, let it grow. Don't hold on to your song so tightly that it can't become its own thing. Don't be a helicopter parent to your song, okay? Let your song be the cool Gen X kid who stayed home alone and figured out how to burn shit on the stove while you were not there. That's all you gotta do, man. Let the song grow. Number 3, let it live. You cannot contain a song and leave it to die. I have no expectation of making any money off of any of my songs because they are not copyrighted. I do not sell them. I don't sell me. And they're not for sale because they're mine. And because they're mine, they're everyone's. Because that's just how I roll with songs. Now, if they showed up in a movie, I'd be having to make some phone calls. But that's okay, because also if it showed up in a movie, then how many people would see it? And when I was younger, I was delusional enough to think I should pull all of my songs off of YouTube because someone might take them unfairly and use them in some popular work. And I had a lot of songs up here at one time. And some of them had thousands of views. It was pretty nifty. And I took them all down. And now look at me. Dozens of views. And that's good because the people that are watching them, they actually give a shit. Like, if you're still sitting here after 31 minutes and 45 seconds, you give a shit. And I appreciate you for giving a shit. That's awesome. If you've learned anything, let the song breathe. Let the song grow. Let the song live. I hope this is a bit of a view behind the curtain of the world of writing a song. It seems so mysterious to people that haven't done it, and so impossible. It's not just about rhyming words. It can be. I mean, there's plenty of songs I like that specifically it's just because good rhymes. But a story is a lot more valuable to me than how many words in it rhyme. I'm trying to make sure all my pockets are empty. I hate playing music with stuff in my pockets. I'm sure you understand if you're still here at 33 minutes and 3 seconds. Nice. 333. That means something to someone, right? It just means I've been going for a while to me. So, what we're gonna get here this is like the 3rd song I wrote, I think. It's called Blow Me Away. I just did a recording of it a few days ago, but it's apropos to what we were talking about. I'm sitting on my front porch, and every time someone drives by at the road, I always throw one of these. Everybody's got tinted windows, so I have no idea if they're even looking or not, but just in case, you should always throw one of these, because why not? So this song is, like I said, touch up just a little so that it won't be blasting the guitar straight into the microphone here. Now, this song is about a relationship falling apart. And in real life, it was the chick that said, I guess I don't care, I just got nowhere to go. And that inspired me, my buddy's ex saying this, inspired me to do this. And the part of it that I added that was from me was just the part where she took the keys to my guitar case at the end. That was like the only only personal. It's like my touch to it. Nobody ever did that to me, but that's what I was thinking would be the kicker. You know, like, man, she left me, and I can't play a song about it now. Man, that's worse than getting left. So this is called Blow Me Away, and if you will, just pay attention to how the verse goes, and the second verse is right there behind it, and there's no chorus. So just check it out and apply the stuff that I said. And if you're still here, thanks for coming. Think about doing the liking and the commenting and all that stuff, and sharing it around, let people know. If you're from Andalusia, Alabama, that's where I'm from. So go Bulldogs. And looks like we're about to get some rain up toward Andalusia. I'm south of Andalusia, so I usually just get to watch all that happen from down here. Anyways, this is Blow Me Away. Playing a game that no one wins. It feels like we're stuck in hell, and we don't fool no one in the end. We're only lying to ourselves. And how much can we take when neither of us ever learn to give? How long till we break? 'Cause I've heard too much to just forgive. I guess I don't care now. I just got no place to go, and I wonder why now. Don't guess you'll ever know how I dream about you. Just wondering where you are. I wish I could see you. I wish you could see these scars. Why'd you take the keys to my guitar case? Blow me away. Blow me away. Blow me away now. You blow me away without a doubt. Blow me away now. You cheer me up. Come on, baby, now spit me out. Blow me away now. Just like the wind upon my face. Blow me away now. Yeah, you took the keys to my guitar case. You see, there was no chorus. The first and the second verse are joined together by just a few bars of empty turning around music. It's just a little tiny repetition of the Blow Me Away, and then we're getting on out of there nice and quick. It's like the attack run on the Death Star's power core in Return of the Jedi, and they're flying in, and Lando Calrissian is like, all right, let's get out in and out of here pretty quick. And one of the X-Wing pilots, maybe it was Wedge, was it Wedge? I don't know, whoever it was like, don't worry about it, man, I'm already on the way out. Because as soon as they flew into the chamber, like, he's locked on, he shoots his stuff, and he's headed out of there. That's how you want to be. You want to be as quick as possible. Except for when you don't. That's just another one of those things. I'm a big fan of 8-minute long songs now because it gives the song time to breathe and time to grow and time to live on the micro level, just within the actual structure of the song itself. And it gives people you're playing with time to jam and play and feel out the box or the paper bag that they're stuck in, and gives them a chance to let it breathe and let it grow and let it live. And of course, this advice is good for songs, but do it for you as well. Let yourself breathe. Let yourself grow. Let yourself live. I hope I'll see you next time for Writers Wednesday. And come check out Thursday. What did I call it again? You know what? I've got it penciled in for a see you next Thursday to go along with the see you next Tuesday. There's an acronym in there. Smart guys can piece it together. And it looks like I had scheduled to talk about tomorrow night what I actually talked about on the See You Next Tuesday show, which was the movie Ick and the more esoteric and sort of occultic interpretation, not using any esoteric or occult methods to interpret it, but just some of the hidden, not so hidden things, you know? So check out the See You Next Tuesday show episode, and I don't know, maybe I'll do a repeat tomorrow because it was dark outside by the time I started doing this, and my notebook was hard to read, and I took such good notes on it that maybe I'll just do a repeat for Thursday. And yeah, so anyway, happy hump day, you animals, and I'll see you next time. Peace.